as you can maybe notice, it is a home day. I have no makeup on, and you may be able to see the color of my bra through my white shirt. But I really don't fucking care because I'm at home. I did not plan to go out today. Anyway, I finished this book, The Bad Luck Wedding Night by Geralyn Dawson, and I did not like this book. But the general story I did like in general, like the basic premise of the plot, the story, all that such. I liked it. I like the premise of, you know, these two young kids. They're like 18, 16, and they're very much sort of, when you're that age, well, when you're 8, sometimes it depends. Sometimes it works, but in this case, like, they thought they were in love and they wanted all this, but he sort of did, but she wasn't ready. She was only 16. She's 2 years younger than him. And her mother put in her brain, like, sex is going to be very bad and it's a duty you have to do just to continue your bloodline and blah blah blah. It's not pleasant or anything or pleasuring. And it doesn't feel good. It does fucking feel good if, you know, anyone who's had sex knows it's fucking good. But anyway, so, and then something sort of happens, and like this is literally on the night of the wedding. Like they finish, you know, the whole ceremony, and it's the night where they're supposed to, like, you know, officially, you know, their official wedding night. And then something happens, and then they're, you know, they're separated for 10 years, and then they have to meet each other again, and basically they're falling in love all over again and that such. But I really don't like what happened to Nick, or Nicholas, however you want to pronounce him, say it. But he went over to England, and he's like very, like, he changes somewhat from like the guy that you know, somewhat. Some of those traits are still there, but other traits are like very overprotective, he's very overprotective. He's really stubborn himself, and just, I can't think of any names, but there are a few other traits that I'm not all that happy about regarding him. And with her, she, like, I do not mind the shy, timid, I'm a little afraid of sex because this is sort of like my first time, also the first time with you, all that blah 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 blah. But she's almost like prudish in a way, and I understand with that. I understand sometimes someone's prudish, especially if they're a side character, like say like the mother-in-law, or their own mother, or some sort of side character who is like very prudish and doesn't think of like you should be doing all that stuff. But I get that feeling from her, sort of. Not completely, but I get that, and I don't like it, okay? I don't. And the way that they interact with each other, it's like, I don't like that either. I'm looking at the book just to try to remember what I remember from the book. And then, like, literally, they don't have sex. They have zero sex. This is not a true romance novel. The previous books to this, they have sex, like, written down sex, like, 3 times at least. Before, like, in the last, like, third of the book, or, like, the second half of the book. There's at least, like, 3 times that is written down of sex. 0 times of sex. The first, like, literally in the first 5 chapters, well, on the wedding night, the first 5 chapters are of them, like, when they're in their teens. So, you know, they are trying to get to there, but she's just being like, oh my god, this is not turning me on. This is not a turn on. But at the same time, I think I understand that that's not supposed to be a turn on. That's not where the actual, like, smut, sexual, romantically stuff is supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen more inside the book. And then the second time that actual physical sexual relations start happening, he literally just fingers her. And yes, that is, like, it's a hot scene. But all he's doing is fingering her and kissing the fuck out of her, and like molesting her with his hands. But there's no like actual sexual intercourse. And I'm like, okay, like, we gotta start somewhere, especially with her, and this is like the first time she's ever doing any of this stuff. Okay, that's good, that's really good. It was hot. And so I'm expecting to have it sometime sooner. So We do not get sex, and we don't even get full sex until literally like the last, where is it? 1, 2, 3, in the last 3.5 pages. Do you see this? The back of the book, the last 3.5 pages, literally, I got this page. It has to do with advertisements and, you know, taking it out. And then, like, this advertisement, and then literally, this is the epilogue. And it's not even an actual epilogue, it's an excerpt from, you know, the Fort Worth Daily Democrat, like the newspaper in Fort Worth. And like literally in the last 3 pages of the last chapter, I already said it, that's when, you know, the sex starts happening. What the fuck? Where is my actual sex? Why is it all the way back here? Like, this just... this whole thing sort of frustrated me. Like, the premise of the story was really great, but it was executed so badly for me personally. This is, like, the title doesn't even make sense either. Bad Luck Wedding Night. She doesn't even, you know, like, refer to anything of the Bad Luck Wedding Night, unlike the previous ones, the Bad Luck Wedding Cake and the Bad Luck Wedding Dress. Both of them actually, you know, built upon those things. She didn't. And, like, she didn't even have a business before, like, you know, that even happened. So, it's just, this book just, it could have been good. It could have been really good. It could have been fucking good. But no, this had to ruin it. I didn't even get to read Sizzle All Day. Yes, Sizzle All Day, because Simmer All Night was the Chili Queen, and I read that one. Sizzle All Day, I don't even know what the fuck that was. I don't even know how that character ties in with any of the characters. I don't even know how Simmer All Night ties with any of those characters. But apparently it's supposed to be attached to the Ross family, if I'm reading the thing on the website right. Let me just get that up, because I have internet still right now. Let me get it up right now. If the internet will be faster. No, it doesn't want to be faster, but finally, there we go. Okay, we get done. Are we done? Thank you. Okay. Author sites. No, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I want either. I want this. Okay. Okay, there we go. I want this. Alright. Again, yes, Simmer All Night has something to do with the Ross family, and I don't know what the fuck, like, it had no tie-in with it. I don't even know where that, Bad Luck Abroad, okay, that makes sense. Like, again, I don't know where any, like this actually, his last name is Ross, so that makes sense. So, let me get Goodreads up, because I do use that. I have yucky acid dripping down the back of my throat, which is lovely. Okay, Goodreads. I don't need to log in, I just need to go home. And I want, what? No, go away. I just want to look for a book. Search and browse books, thank you. Alright, I want Simmer All Night by Geralyn Dawson. There we go. Simmer All Night, thank you. That's what I want. It's not the same cover, maybe? I don't know. Okay. La 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 la. Yeah, this has nothing to do with the Rosses, if I remember correctly.
Let me check. Yeah, like this Christina Delaney, like this is Delaney. And a Morgan, a Delaney and a Morgan. How?
I don't... What does this have anything to do with Rosses? The lead ends up supplying a new adventure, this time in Scotland. Having weaseled out of the trip to England the first time, Jake is quickly dispatched to Scotland. Ah, okay, so the second one involves, I didn't even read, I didn't have no ability to read it because I couldn't get it, you know, with all that such. So, Jake, which is Kristin, Christina's? Yes, Christina. Chrissy. Yeah, Christina. Yeah, because I read it up here somewhere. Yes, Christina. Where'd it go? Where'd my little thing go? Because it had like the blurb of the next book. There we go. Okay. So, let's see. Jake attacks on Hart traveling to the Highlands. Her brother goes to the Highlands to get the actual, official, real Declaration of Independence of Texas. Possibilities are endless and looking, yeah. So what does that have to, okay, now I gotta get the second one, because that makes sense. Like, the second book in the Ross section, this, thing, Abroad, abroad. And then this doesn't make sense. How are the first two attached to the Ross family? This is actual Ross family. Oh, now I get it. Oh my fucking god, now I get it. Oh, now I get it. Oh my god, I get it now. I get it now. I got it. Sizzle all day. If you're like, wow, why haven't you caught on? Like, I'm finally catching on right now. Yes. Scotland to scout out lost treasure. Jake Delaney stays at a haunted castle and is visited in his sleep by a beautiful but less than corporeal woman. That's not a full description, but whatever. Do we have... There we go. Yes. Okay, now I see where the attachment to the Ross family is. I see where it is. But it's not, you know, royalty or such. Jake Delaney has come to Rowan Clare Castle, trying to locate one of the few remaining copies of the Texas Declaration of Independence. He poses as a researcher wanting information on the castle, but when he is left alone, Jake searches every nook and cranny looking for the historical document. What he finds are strange occurrences, like swinging chandeliers, moving bread baskets, and strange noises. When a beautiful ghost visits him in the middle of the night, he wonders who is behind all these tricks. Gillian Ross. Yes. Nick's adopted sister is named Gillian, because, you know, he was the third son of the Marquis, and he thought Nicholas was a bastard son of a different father. Didn't think it was his son, but it actually is. And so he sent over to, I don't know who side of the family, the father or the mother's, but he sent to one of their sides, their brother or their sister over there, sent to with that family, the Ross family, and I don't know, but anyway, sent over there, and, you know, has now Gillian, Flora, and Robin as, you know, half sisters that he loves dearly. So this is a tie-in. Okay, now all this makes sense. Where is it? In the middle of the night, he wonders who's behind all these tricks. Gillian Ross needs to make people believe the castle is haunted. They have a buyer who wants a castle with a ghost. Gillian wants to make sure the word gets out that their castle is loaded with ghosts. She doesn't expect their new guests to see right through her disguise. This is follow to Simmer All Night. The Delaney family is still searching for the Declaration. Jake just wants to find the document and get on with his life. With his sister married to his best friend, his mother reconciled with her father, Jake is no longer responsible for their well-being, and will have time to travel the world. But falling in love with a Scottish ghost does not play into his plans. He loves that Gillian will go to extremes in order to see to her sister's future. There is some funny blah 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 blah. Little dog Scooter. Aw, okay. I wish I had read this one, because this, you know, this makes me fall in love. Like, this review, not full review, but it's a description. Like, the first two paragraphs are just like, I wish I had read it. It was cute. And I kind of wanted to know how the fuck, like, I still want to know, do they get what happens with the Declaration of Independence? Does that get fulfilled and all that such? But now I see how it ties in with the Ross family, because Christina Delaney is sister to Jake Delaney, who marries to Gillian Ross, who is stepsister to Nicholas Ross. Oh my god! That was a lot. Okay. That was a fucking lot. But I still dislike this book very much. I just wish it could have been a whole lot better. But no. Like, Simmer All Night, I think that was pretty good. the sizzle all day probably would have been fairly good because I liked what she described. I liked it. And I like, oh my gosh, like the Scottish and Irish accents that I'm falling in love with. Also, I like a little ghostly mystery. I like the paranormal, even though this is like a fake paranormal, but still. And also, they don't sell Rowan Clare Castle. Like, they go to Rowan Clare in here. Went like 10 years later. Why am I saying 10 decades? It's just a decade is 10 years. But yeah. So they don't exactly sell it. It would be nice to figure out if Gillian and Nicholas meet in that book, because then it would be like, hey, they're tied together, and then like you get this situation here and all that such. But no, because no library has it, which sucks. I don't really want to download it. I don't want like do that, but it would have been a lovely book to read because all that makes me, yeah. Oh yes, I have to sign in for me to like it. Just have a different description. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. She needs a ghost, not a groom. All the castles in all of Scotland. It's Gillian Ross's bad luck to live in one that isn't haunted. The ancestral home must be sold, but the single interested buyer requires a wraith, or wraith? I don't know how that's pronounced. W-R-A-I-T-H in the rafters. Basically, this buyer wants a ghost in the roof. With her family in danger, Gillian will do anything to protect them, so she dons a disguise and sets out, to haunt her home herself. Her plan might have worked, had her first tantalizing target not revealed more than she bargained for. He'd rather be dead than wed. Handsome as the devil, but with a scoundrel's heart, Jake Delaney has come to Rowan Clare Castle to locate a missing historical treasure, not a wife. When a gorgeous ghost visits his bedchamber, his curiosity, among other things, is aroused. Unaware that his probing might lead them both to mayhem and marriage, he vows to discover her secrets before leaving the Highlands. His plan might have worked too, had he not been haunted by visions of a seductive Scottish sprite and the dream that man's castle could somehow become his home. Alright, I gotta give your like to you because I liked that. That would have been a really good book to read. I would have probably loved that book, but no library wanted to have that, so yes. I have the next book in the series, which is Her Bodyguard. I have that done for interlibrary loan already, but yes, I personally would not recommend this book, but you can go ahead and read it. When I read a sex book, I want to have, sex. Good sex. And I do want it to be multiple times that they have sex. But I will settle for one really good one and other, hot, steamy things, him fingering his wife, or, very heavy, hot teething and such. But, yeah, that's this book. I don't personally recommend it, but because I need to read or want to read the entire series of stuff that I read that had to be read. So yeah, that's this book. And yeah, Her Bodyguard is the next one. And then once I read that one, I get to read my own book. Finally. Also, this whole thing, and it says something here, I'm going to read it because this is what has hooked me to the next book, hopefully I get to read, is yesterday at approximately 2:25 in the afternoon, Lady Melanie Ross was abducted from the First Methodist Church, a note the contents of which remain private despite concerted efforts by this reporter, Wilhelmina Peters, the annoying woman, was left for the victim's brother, Lord Weston, Nicholas. In light of the past McBride family weddings, one cannot but observe that in the congregation at First Methodist Church this past Saturday afternoon sat a bad luck wedding guest. Okay, that first paragraph is very shocking. So the next book is about Melanie, I think it's about Melanie, and then something about a bad luck wedding guest. is the mist. I don't get that last one, but it's like, what the fuck does this mean? Does that paragraph mean? I don't know what it means. I'd like to, know if it, makes sense anywhere. If they clear it up in the next book. I don't know. But it's weird. I really don't know. I would like to know. But anyway, this gets to go back to the library. And back to its own library because this is an interlibrary loan. Comes with this, and it's just easier to take this off to read it. But anyway, yes, that's that book. And I don't know when I'm going to get the other book. So, I'm on to my own personal book, which is A Daughter's Promise by Julie Ellis. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it's there. And now I get to read the back. Hopefully, it's really thick. It's thicker than that, and it's really dense. Hopefully, we get some good smut in here. Whenever I read, almost like I'm saying like way too many times. But with my own books, I find there's a lot more smut and a lot more of the sexy times. Whereas when I read the stuff from the library, there's not that much sexy time in those books for some odd reason. I don't know why. But anyway, I'm reading another smut book, hopefully. Laura and Iris, two loving daughters scarred by grief and bitterness by their father's murder at the hands of an angry mob. Two frightened sisters who fled their small Georgia town for the anonymity and opportunity of New York. Two beautiful women determined to build new lives, new dreams. Okay, a daughter's what? This entails like a one daughter, not a two daughter, but whatever. Laura, vowing to someday have the power to avenge her father's death, she studied to be a lawyer and began to amass a real estate empire. But when she finally returned to Magnolia, Georgia, the secrets of the past threatened to destroy all she had created. Iris. Nothing was more important to her than beauty, fame, and wealth. As she suffered through a failed Hollywood career and a loveless marriage to a British lord, she tried to forget Magnolia, but she could never turn her back on her sister, even if that meant reliving her darkest nightmare. This story may be interesting. Maybe. We'll see, because of the back here. I still have another paragraph. Through lives blessed with love and passion, torn by grief and betrayal, the two sisters struggled to be true to their own hearts and to their sacred destiny, a sacred pledge and a binding vow of a daughter's promise. Alright, well, whatever. Alright, I go from the back. Every time. Holy shit. Oh, that's just the unit number. Okay, we have 50 chapters. And yeah, that's all. And excuse me while I drip and my throat's dry. I have this page, which I'm gonna read right now. Determination and dreams. Someday I'll come back to Magnolia and I'll be rich and famous. Everybody in town will grovel at my feet, Iris vowed. Her face etched with fresh rage and hurt and determination. And you know what? I'll spit on them. Iris, hush. Laura glanced uneasily about the train. You said we'd come back, Iris challenged, to clear Papa's name, our name. That's why I must become a lawyer. I'm gonna marry a rich man, Iris plotted. Richer than anybody in Magnolia. Maybe the richest man in the world. All at once, tears filled her eyes. Her mouth trembled. Laura, what's gonna happen to us in New York? I've never been so scared in all my life. Don't you dare be scared, Laura rebuked. We can take care of ourselves, and we will succeed. For Papa. Okay, maybe it's not so much a romance. Wow. Apparently, this... Right there. Can we focus? There we go. This publication house, Zebra Fiction. It used to be very popular, and it used to do, actually, apparently a lot of horror stuff. Hopefully this is not a horror book. I'd like it to be more of a romance book. But apparently it was very popular back in the day. I'm gonna try and find that publication date. Zebra books are published by blah blah blah. 1988. First Zebra book printings. 1989. I don't understand. Okay. Acknowledgement. Part 1. Ooh, it's in parts. Okay. Well, I'm gonna read this acknowledgement for myself. And my tooth is hurting right now. I don't know why. But anyway, this is the end of my video. It's quite a long video. Hopefully it won't be as long as recording it. And my tooth is fucking hurting right now. And I haven't even had any sugar in there. But anyway, I'm gonna finish this video. Okay. And I hope you liked it. It was very enthusiastically negative book review for a book. And yeah. If you liked this video, please hit that like button down there. And if you want to discuss this book, you can discuss it down below. And, you know, just don't be negative, don't be nasty, because we do not need that in the world. I'm getting thrown off by my tooth hurting right now, okay? Sorry. And if this is the first time you're watching my video, please hit that big red subscribe button down there by my picture for more book reviews, hauls, unboxing, unbagging, because something's coming, a bubble written envelope or a plastic bag wrapped thingy, vlogmas, Brenda vlogs, and Brenda videos. I have no idea what to categorize. Alright, I want to cut this video because I want my tooth to stop hurting. I gotta deal with something that's happening on my phone, and I want to continue watching YouTube videos, and it's live each day. And then I get to watch more scary stuff. Great! Alright, so I'm gonna get going, and I hope you like this video. I will see you all in my next one. Bye, everyone.